we just really want to prove everyone wrong, just like we did last year. People weren't giving us a shot last year, and we have the same mentality as we did last year. Is we're going to take it game by game. We're going to try to win every game, and we expect ourselves to get to the Georgia Dome like we do every year. So we don't really listen to what all the naysayers have, whatever they're coming at us with, but it is a little bit of fuel to get us going and help us with our work.
If you had to think of where's an area of concern on the offense heading into the start of fall practice, or an area that you know needs to step up, what would it be?
Well, I think it's important for us to name a starting quarterback as soon as we can, because you can have guys like me and Emery and Brandon Mosley being leaders for our positions, but until you name that starter, that's really the one true single leader for the offense and really for the team. They really set the identity for what the team's going to be all about. So I think as soon as we can do that, that'll be big. And then at the same time, getting as many of these young guys as many reps as we can, because we know what our older guys can do, but we're relying on so many younger guys to come in and play that we need to get them reps and get their confidence up that they can play at this level.
Who are some of the incoming players that you know that have impressed you so far with maybe what they've done just working out, or you think can contribute?
Angelo Blackson's one guy. He's in the middle of that defense, and he's big. He's hard to move. He's built just like Nick Fairley. That's crazy to say. He's just a freshman. And then Chris Frost is another guy. Great build, great attitude. He's been flying around during practices, really just impressing a lot of the older guys. And then Quan Bray's another guy. You know, he's been through some rough stuff this summer, and he's just kept his head high. And, you know, he's come to us when he needs to talk to someone, and he's just not letting it affect him on the field. It's been kind of his place to get away from it all. So he's impressed us a lot. He'll be a guy like Trevon Reed who can catch the ball out in space and hopefully makes a place for us.
What have you thought about the young guys at tight end?
Brandon and CJ, they've both been in my ear every day, blowing my phone up, let's go watch film. So, you know, I'm glad that they're doing that. They're trying to get a jump start on it before the season. And Brandon, he's a guy that he's a great athlete. He'll definitely have a chance to help us out this year and do some of the things that I do, so take some of the load off of me. And it's all going to come down to how physical he wants to be, because in that fullback position, you gotta be pretty physical, and it takes a while to adjust to going from playing against high school kids to, like my freshman year, going against Antonio Coleman and just getting blown up my first time. It doesn't feel good. You kind of lose your confidence a little bit. And then CJ, he's another good kid. He's already 6'7", 250 pounds, so he'll have an opportunity to help us out. We just got to see what both those guys can do and come fall camp.
What happened that first time you went up against Antonio Cole?
Oh, he knocked me flat on my butt. I just looked up and I was like, what did I get myself into? It was good.
So how do you handicap this?
Sure.
You see these quarterbacks workouts, who's got the edge, or just talking about how you're going.
Well, with Clint and Barrett, they're both very similar quarterbacks. And I think that it's going to come down to who gives this team the better opportunity to win one, and who's going to keep the ball safe and not turn the ball over. I think that's the two things that Coach Malzahn and Coach Chisholm are looking for. And they're both very similar. Clint's a little bit bigger, which gives him a little bit more of an edge going into it, just because he can see over the line. He's a little bit more athletic. But Barrett's also, he's been here for so long. He's savvy. He knows the ins and outs of the offense, and I feel confident with either one going into the season. I think it's just being in the South in general. We live, eat, sleep, and breathe football. And players getting recruited, I know that's one of the things that drew me, is I wanted to be a big part of a big-time school that, you know, we're the main focus of attention. And I think that's what draws all the great athletes and great recruits down here, is that football is basically life in the South. And on Saturday, there's nothing else going on. You're watching a football game.